Well, hello everyone. So this is actually like my second time trying to film this. I keep running out of storage. So before we get into this is gonna be one of those mildly like me being frustrated videos. Mildly, but I do feel like it needs a disclaimer. So if you've never seen my channel before, hi, I'm Nicole. I am unfortunately not kid friendly. I do cuss in my videos, so if you have little ones around, please go watch something else for now and come back. I'd love to have you here, but certainly not going to be a kid friendly video. Also, real quick, I just want to say that if you watched my last couple videos and if you left comments or liked anything just watching it, I really, really, really appreciate it. And not just the last two, but just in general, the last few that have been about my personal life. It means a lot to have you guys there, and it means a lot to have your support. And I'm hoping, like, I'm ready to be back making all the drama videos. And today, drama. This is probably going to be like more like my old videos. So let's just try to get into it. Okay. So I don't know how many of you would remember, but towards the beginning of my channel, there was a bit of a conversation about Josh in the Dad Challenge podcast, and not really as much of like what he was covering and what he was trying to do, as much as it was about how he was going about it, the things he was saying. So if you don't know, which not that it's changed a whole lot, but Josh really got big around the Micah Stauffer situation. And one of the things he started doing was snarking and making fun of Micah and James, and his reasoning behind this at the time was, well, they deserve it, which wasn't hard for a lot of people to get on board with because they really did some shitty shit, and like they are probably pretty shitty fucking people. And I think a lot of people agree with that. Like, what happened was wrong. So it wasn't really hard to kind of overlook Josh getting snarky when it came to them. But I remember for me, it was constant Micah videos, and it was stupid shit, putting on fucking wigs and acting just dumb, that I had reached a point where I was like, this channel is not for me. And there's been a lot of discussions since he kind of blew up about how he makes fun of women and talks shit, or makes fun of people in general and talk shit about their appearance, and he was just really shitty. Excuse me. I have a cat on the table. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Say hello, everybody, and goodbye. So I made a couple videos back then, basically just kind of sharing my opinion, saying, of course, I like the message, but I didn't like the delivery, and I didn't like all the extra shit. And Josh started getting quite a bit of criticism, and at first it did not seem he did not seem to be taking it very well. And so he goes on to say, well, I'm going to have like the Dad Challenge podcast and the Dad Challenge channel, and it's going to be two separate things, like, so that he could snark on one channel for the people that wanted to hear him talk shit and make fun of these people and do all these stupid things like wigs and whatever. And then the other channel would be more about analytics and the facts and, exposing these family vloggers for exploiting their children. So most of you know, but if you don't know, so like family vloggers, they share their everyday life, but there are quite a few who base all their content around their children. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's more commonly been a bad thing, because some of these families, if you take their children out of the forefront, they wouldn't have the same level of fame and success and whatever. So there's that side of it where Josh is saying these kids should have protection and they should have rights. And then that led kind of into what putting your children out there can do and who's watching them and what that can mean. So it turned into a conversation about pedophiles being able to watch these young children, and or their family vloggers catering their content towards that. It was a lot. It was, and before I say too much, I do want to just say I truly feel that Josh means what he says. I believe he believes in his message, but I'm gonna be honest, and I'm sure Josh would not appreciate it, but I feel like a lot of his channel, especially since it's blown up, is more about his ego. So you'll hear him say things like, like and follow me here and follow me there. The more you do, the more my voice grows. And it's always, about his voice growing. But he always puts it behind this wall of, my voice is only here to spread the message, and the message is what matters. And I don't need the credit, and I don't, whatever. And see, that was kind of the thing when he first started getting criticism, was it was almost like, if you aren't with me, then he said it. If you're not with me, then you're okay with the exploitation of children and so on and so forth. And that's simply, not true. Josh is not the only person who's ever spoken up against this. And certainly not now that the topic has grown. And I feel like Josh has taken quite a bit of credit for that. So what's brought me here to make this video? Two things. I watched a video the other day. It was only a couple weeks old, I think, if that. And it was talking about Josh's hypocrisies when it comes to family vloggers and how he handled the Jordan Cheyenne situation. Now, if you don't know that situation, I made a video about it, but Jordan Cheyenne is a mommy vlogger, a single mom, and she posts this video and doesn't edit out at the end where she's got her crying child beside her, and she's like, come here, let's get the picture for the video. And it was a whole thing. So Josh has her on his channel, and I watched a video about how he went about handling things and their opinion on it, and that kind of made me want to make a video. But then this past week of him, and I'll say this, I watched B. Haney's video too, where she talked about this a little bit, where he has been making back-to-back videos about the Gabby Petito case. That's what got me to the point of like, okay, I think I finally made a decision, because for a long time I was very much on the fence about Josh. I felt like part of it was him, him having the ego thing, but I also felt like he was genuine, and I felt like, and I'm not going to get into, Josh used to be a pastor, and being a pastor, your job is to preach and share a message. And so I felt like maybe that's why it came through so strongly about him trying to grow his voice, to grow his message, and that maybe it wasn't such a bad thing. I didn't think he was doing anything with any ill intent. So I stayed on the fence for a while, and I won't lie, after a while, for one, his content where he was supposed to have it all separate kind of just merged back together to be what it was, which is, some days you would get a more in-depth video, and I enjoyed the ones where he actually pointed out the analytics and, here, look at this 12-year-old kid on Instagram who's watching this, and pointing that out, because that is important to call that out. But then you get another video where he's just watching Love Meg and making fun of her, and I don't see the benefit in that. And that's kind of the video I watched. They were basically saying the same thing. It's like, who is this helping? What kids are you stopping from being exploited. And I think the one she was talking about, and I'm not sure if that was Love Meg or it doesn't matter. One of the ones he had been talking about, the video I watched was like, she hasn't had her kids on in over a year. So like, what is he doing? Now, his excuse for continuing the Micah stuff, I'm sorry, I know I'm getting away from the Jordan thing. We're going back to that, I promise. But his excuse for constantly talking about Micah still is, don't forget, don't forget. And I understand that in one way. I get it. Because a lot of times on the internet, cancellation is short-lived, okay? And when people do some really fucked up shit, like adopting a kid from China for content and then rehoming him when things are in real life are not the way you wanted it, yeah, I think we should remind people so that they don't come back. People who put a perfectly healthy dog down for no reason other than they're selfish assholes. Don't let people forget, although they're back, but whatever. So I've understood where Josh is coming from, but I've never agreed with his delivery. And then I realized, like, over time, why was I so willing to overlook his hypocrisy? Why was I so willing to not come on here and say, no, that the shit that he talks is not okay? Well, what I've come to realize is that it's so easy to get on board with his message, and he's made it seem for so long that if you're not on board with him, then you're for the exploitation of kids or whatever. And so I think a lot of people, it's easy for us to all get together and say, well, of course we don't want to see children exploited. We don't want to see kids, being preyed upon. So his message is a solid one that we can all agree on. And because of that, all it takes is a little him, finessing it and saying, well, I'm doing this to get the message out, and I'm staying on this because we don't want these bad people to come back. It's easy to overlook or want to overlook his behavior. But I think it's important, and especially with what he's doing now, to pay closer attention. So, with the Jordan Cheyenne thing, the reason that became a thing, she does the dirt, people see it, and her career's, crashing. And so Josh gets her on his channel. Now, there's conspiracy theories that she did this on purpose or they did it together. I don't care. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't have the energy. Point is, she did it. Her career's going down the drain. Josh brings her on his channel, and where he's always been the one to go so hard for these people, a lot of people, his followers included, felt like he went so easy on her. So she comes on and he's like, well, you already know what you did was wrong, so there's no need for me to dogpile on it. Ugh. You can't sit here, Josh, and say that you don't want to pile on her. And I get when you're doing an interview, you do want to be able to interview them or talk to them, so maybe you hold back a little bit. But for someone who goes so fucking hard for all these people and talks mad shit on his channel, it was just like, you don't want to pile on. You want to make sure she's comfortable. Like, it was very off-putting. It came off very hypocritical. Of course she says, like, I'm going to keep my child off my channel, but what else is she going to say? And I still have strong feelings about that. Like I said, I made a video about it if you want to go check it out. If I remember, I'll put it in the description box. So, to me, I had kind of already felt the way I felt about Josh, that I didn't want to see the videos of him making fun of someone doing a house tour. I don't want to see videos of him just making fun of their basic ass content. Like, and here's my reasoning behind this, other than I just don't fucking want to see it. If they're making harmless content where they don't have their children in it, because that's your message, that's your goal here, is to have these people do content without their children, but you go and talk shit or snark on a video where they're cleaning up or they're doing a house tour, and talk shit. Like, what do you want to see from them? You want them to take their kids off, but the minute they make a normal video without their children, you're bashing it. So what kind of fucking videos do you want them to make? What do you expect them to do? That's my problem with it. So Josh, if you see this, that's how I feel about that. So to go to the next part. Now, I will say, the Gabby Petito case, which I personally haven't made a video about because I feel like there's just been so many videos, and I understand that every voice helps, and I've always felt that way, but at the same time, like, we all agree that what happened to this woman is heartbreaking and disgusting, and we all want Brian, y'all can call him her fiance, boyfriend, whatever. I'm gonna say her murderer, and I don't care. Sue me, I got nothing. Okay? The piece of shit killed her. That's just what happened. So I don't feel the need to make a video about it. I definitely, the only reason why I would be like to talk about the body cam footage and how I felt that I feel like the police are getting hate in places they shouldn't, but I feel like they did miss some things. Like, as far as anything else, like, I don't have anything else new to add. So I don't feel that it's my place to make another video. So Gabby Petito's case has gotten so much attention. Like, oh, there's something. Oh, there was a bug on me. Sorry. But it's gotten so much attention, more than any other case we've seen in a while. And like, I even saw it on Facebook, and none of my Facebook friends know shit about like influencers or YouTube stuff. It was just, it's wild. And I think it's great to see the support that's been out there, but I think there's people who have taken advantage of the situation and exploited the situation. And I'm sorry if you feel differently. Feel free to tell me in the comment section. Keep it respectful. I think Josh is exploiting the death of Gabby Petito. I think he's exploiting everything that's going on with Brian Laundrie and just all of it. And tell me if I'm wrong, please. But last I checked, he had made 8, maybe 9 videos by today. It could be more, but at least 8 as of today in the past week. And the thing is that, first of all, I've heard a lot of people say, well, he doesn't do true crime. Okay, well, I'm not going to hold that against him if he wants to make a video about this, because there are a lot of people, when it comes to this case, who don't have anything to do with true crime or other ongoing cases, who just felt the need to say something, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But to make 8 videos, to have these live streams where you're talking to people, and he literally says, like, we're not here to solve the case. We're not here to do anything good or help in any way. We're just here to talk about it. We're here to bounce theories back and forth. Why? What the fuck is that doing for anybody? It's disgusting. It's disgusting because, A, you have people who are legitimately trying to find this murderer, who are trying to get justice for this poor woman who has lost her fucking life. You have their family just devastated, but also trying to work with people on the internet. And again, there's been so many people with good intentions who have been helpful, and the family of Gabby they needed this information and they got it from people online, so they're looking at things online. How do you think they feel when they see a Dad Challenge podcast online live talking about, well, we're not really going to solve the case and we're not doing any fucking thing to help. We're just going to bounce around theories and talk about whether we think Brian's here or not. I'm sorry, I'm just, like I said, I'm gonna get heated because it's just wrong. And what makes it exploitation and makes it disgusting, he's making money off of this. Like, for someone who spends all of his time talking about the exploitation of children, how it's just, this is all so fucked up and wrong. And it is. But so is first of all, don't exploit anyone. Can we just have that as a general fucking rule? Don't exploit people? I'm just saying. But to exploit someone's death and the shit that has gone on in this case that has been so incredibly fucked up, to just get on live stream day after day, when it was before we knew she had died, it was, all this missing person. Okay. Hey, maybe while you're on live, you've got all these thousands of people watching you. Maybe some information does come up. So I can see that. Okay, one live stream or one video afterwards saying they found her remains. Brian is still missing. Fine. But to do so many fucking videos, and again, to blatantly state that you're not here to solve the case, you're just here to bounce theories and da-da-da-da-da. And then the last one that I watched, I haven't been able to bring myself. The last one I watched of his, where I watched a few minutes, he was just like, and I know some people are going to be upset because I deal with difficult things with laughter and making fun. Okay, I'm one of those people who gets uncomfortable and laughs and smiles at very inappropriate times, for sure. But if you are going to be someone, an influencer, a YouTuber, someone with a platform, especially as big as Josh's has gotten, and Lord knows, I'm sorry, I'll keep the rest of my feelings about Josh and his ego to myself for the rest of this video. If you're going to be someone sharing this information and covering especially an ongoing case, but any crime case, true crime case, you know what I mean? You should have control of that. There should be a level of respect for the victim, for the family, for anyone involved. And if you can't do that, then you shouldn't be covering this shit. It's not for you. It's disgusting to me that he felt that, because I even watched the first live stream that really, kind of really got me looking at him sideways. There was one of the, I believe it was an Instagram video. It may have been a TikTok. I'm old. I don't know. But it was the woman who came forward and said her and her husband were in the restaurant when Gabby and Brian were there. And while he's watching and playing this video, he's snarking on her and, oh, I'm sorry, I just can't help it. Just stop. No matter what your opinion is of whether the woman was making the video for attention or what, and I'm sure there have been people, as this has blown up, who have done things like that. But that's exactly what Josh is doing. So he's snarking on this woman instead of just taking in the information and giving it to his followers, his subscribers. He's making fun of her or pointing out where he thinks it. Well, she's just going to talk on, and that's what they all do. Just stop. Just fucking stop, because what are you doing? And then, like I said, to come on and say, well, people aren't going to like it. People are going to be mad at me, but, that's just how I handle things like this. But I want to do some more real crime. He keeps calling it real crime. I don't know, cringe. Anyway, if you can't do it in a respectful way, if you can't cover someone losing their life without snarking, laughing, making fun, this whole genre is not for you. And I'm sorry, it has me so fucking mad. And that he's gonna keep on. And Josh acts like, just to get back to tying this together, Josh acts like he is just this person who stands up for all that's right and wants to spread the word and his message. And just everything he talks about has such an important meaning behind it. No matter how he puts it out into the world, it's Josh's message and it's important. It's infuriating. His ego is outrageous. I believe he thinks that the conversation about family vloggers and all of that, I think he thinks that he's done it all. He's not the only one who's talked about it, how fucked up these family vloggers can be. And the fact that he feels so entitled to just jump on this whole Gabby Petito case and do the things that he's doing and act the way he's acting, it's just disgusting. And I wanted to make this video because I have seen all I need to see from Josh and the Dad Challenge podcast. I spent almost a year being very much on the fence about a lot of things he was saying and doing and the way he was going about it. And I finally just realized, it's so easy to overlook what he's doing because the message is so important. But we can share this message by our damn self. That's how I feel about it. So, I don't know. I'm irritated by the whole thing. And I want to know what everybody else is thinking. Like I said, I've caught a couple of videos coming out, just pointing out the way he is, the fact that he does a lot of things that are considered hypocritical. But the Gabby Petito case and his coverage of the true crime situation, I want to know your thoughts on that. Because I understand that he's not the only person who doesn't typically cover stuff like this who came out to cover it. But in my opinion, your intentions matter. And if you're not here to help, if you're just here to snark and throw theories to the wall, you don't deserve to talk about it. You should shut the fuck up. In the spirit of me being back to making my videos in the way that I have always made them, dear Josh, shut the fuck up. Leave this case alone. We don't need you. And anybody else who's exploiting this and making money off this, please stop. The fuck is wrong with you? Intentions matter. That's all I have to say. I love you guys. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section and let me know what you want to see next going forward. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.